Hey, hi all. In this particular segment, we will understand how we can have a granular table level access in Microsoft Sentinel, right? And it is specifically in the context of out of the box tables as well as the custom tables which we're trying to build, right? Prior to that, I'll just take you to my workspace on Azure portal. This is your Azure portal. Get to the log analytics workspace. Search your log analytics workspace, and the place where you can see all your tables are here. These are the complete list of tables you have, and this is my administrative login, right? So these are the different tables we have these are all the out of the box tables, and the clear distinctions to identify the custom table is that there's a suffix of underscore cl. So these are all my uh, custom logs, right, or custom tables, right? So what I want to do is that, like, I have this matrix at the very start of this documentation where we say, like, we have multiple groups and multiple tables. These are all the list of tables, right? And these are the groups, and I'm defining like which like group is an intra group basically, and this group will have members to it, and those members will have access to defined tables. For example, SOC power users, like security operations center power user, will have access to all the tables, right? So pretty much everything. SOC everything but CSOC and PSOC. That means I have access to all the tables except CSOC sensitive and PSOC sensitive, right? So that's why no access I have written. Similarly, SOC everything but CSOC sensitive. That means access to all the tables except the CSOC sensitive data, and SOC everything but PSOC sensitive data. That means access to everything except access to the PSOC sensitive data. Okay. So the key thing first we should have is that we should try to populate the table, right? Like we should get the required log source from the required log source should send data to these tables, right? If we have table, because that's the distinctive factor. If we have the table data, then we can run by logging into the users belonging to these different groups, and then we can check, because schema and other things are always visible. So yeah, schema is something which you can always check. There's no restriction on the schema, but as we don't want them to visualize the data, so that's why we are keeping it like that. So that is the very basic prerequisite which we need to have. First, we need to have these groups in place. We need to have these tables in place. These tables should have data in place. So these are the three prerequisites. So I'll just put the prerequisites here. I should put it here. Logs populating in out of the box and custom logs table, right? We need to have those table, and we logs populate. We should have custom logs table and out of the box. So these are the three prerequisites, right? Now I'll just give you a brief how it works actually. So this is the actual working example, right? So I have already built it for SOC everything but PSOC. SOC everything but PSOC sensitive data. I've already built for that. So SOC everything for this way we don't have access to CSOC sensitive data and PSOC sensitive data. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just go through my first thing is I'll go to my log analytics workspace and I'll show you what are the custom logs I have, right? So you just get to the logs. So if you open up this custom log here, you can see that you have sample CSOC and it has the data in it. Sample CSOC has this data. Table CSOC2 has this data in it. Just run one. I'm running it for last 7 days, right? Because I have data for last 7 days, right? So that is the reason. So CSOC sensitive, I didn't give it, selected it individually. Then just give reason for PSOC2 and then PSOC sensitivity. Okay, so just give enter, run. So these are the custom tables with custom logs. So these are my tables. So the whole metrics we just saw have defined accessibility for these two tables only. So as an admin, I can access all the tables, all the data are visible for me for last 7 days, right? Now, as I just said, like I have already built a use case for this one, right? Log everything but CSOC, sensitive data, and PSOC. So you should be able to see all the tables like CSOC1, CSOC2, PSOC1, PSOC2, except CSOC sensitive and PSOC sensitive, right? So this is already in place, right? Is that what I'm saying? Let me just check. Okay, SOC everything but PSOC sensitive data. I have this one. SOC everything but PSOC sensitive. That means the access to this last table PSOC sensitive, I don't have data access. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just first demo it. How does it look? So I have a separate browser. Okay, so let me just go to the IAM here to identify the user on which I have applied that role. So role assignments. So just search. The username is Linux user, and he is having SOC everything but PSOC. SOC everything but PSOC sensitive. So just click on this, and you can see the JSON view. Okay, this is like defining this access and no not action. I have data action in here, and then so. But if you come and view edit here, I'm defining that he should have access to all the other tables except one table, and that table references this one table PSOC. He should not have access to this table. So we should have data action for all the tables, and if the resource has table name which equals to table PSOC center to CL, so he should not negate. I'm negating that, right? So that is the key difference. I'll guide like how I created this all, but just to observe the behavior first and the functionalities and then coming to it. So I've logged in with my Linux syslog as the it is assigned to this user only, right? At the log antics workspace level. This is very important that we can create a custom role at subscription or at a resource group level, but the key is that we need to apply the conditions for defining the accessibility and non-accessibility at the log antics workspace level. Okay. So when I log in first with user Linux, I get to see these things, right? I have Microsoft Center which is visible, right? And when I go to logs, I can see all the tables here. I can see the custom logs, right? So I'll just try to run this first for last 7 days, which is table PSOC for which I'm restricting the access. So let's just observe. So it is not able to find any data. Okay, the same table, when I'm looking at the administrator login, I'll be able to visualize the logs, right? So that is the key differentiator. So if I just put a table PSOC sensitive data for last 7 days, I'm able to see the data, right? But the same data is not visible for last 7 days. Even if I increase the duration for more, it will not show because we have a restriction. Conditional restriction is there, right? So that's how it is. Now, how to do it? We will understand that. Okay. Apart from this, he will have access to other tables like syslog. He can check syslog. He can check heartbeat. He can check even other tables like psoc1. Well, I have access to psoc1 CL as well. Similarly, psoc2 CL as well. Other tables he will have access, but the one which is defined as per matrix, he will not have access to it. So that is for SOC everything but PSOC. So what I'll do, I'll create one for the SOC everything but CSOC sensitive and PSOC sensitive. So let's try to create this one. So I'll start first from the administrative login because they have every defined access, right? For that, you just need to get to the switch login this workspace, and I'll define this at the resource group level. So where this is my workspace and the immediate resource group to this is this one, or you can define it at a subscription level as well. Defining a custom role is not an issue, but to apply condition, you need to get to the IAM or identity access management of the log analytics workspace. So let's get here resource group. Let's try to create, okay, not this way, just get to your IAM in the resource group. Just add role, add a custom role. It's a custom role, right? So just define your, give the description and start from scratch. We'll now get to the permissions, right? So permissions, the very basic permissions which you should always start with is this. There's a great documentation here from Microsoft documentation like configuring granular RBAC in Azure Monitor, right? So here we will define the actions and data actions. So just copy the action field first and put it here. So we are giving the option for us to read the available workspace, right? So just add it here. Add permission again. For workspace, query read. You should be able to query and read. Run queries over the data in the workspace. So just add it. Add one more permission, which is operational insights workspace tables data read. Okay. And that is a data action. So it is not available in the action. So it will be in the data action. Data action means allow you to provide read access to workspace or more fine-grained data entities as a specific table. So data action means we have a table, we have column, we have rows. So we need to do fine granularity there. So you, for that you need to have a data action in place. Okay, like that. So with that you can create. Assignable scope is the, we are creating it at a source group level, right? And this is the JSON which we get to see. This is the role name. This role we need to assign to individual group or an identity. First to observe whether it is reflecting the required or desired result set or not. Okay. So first thing is that you define your custom role at the subscription RG or RG level. Step one. We're done with step one now. So just be okay here at the back end and you have your role in place. Now step two. Navigate to the desired log analytics workspace to define the granularity condition for the custom role, right? And step three is to assign it to assign the custom role the and to the user or intra ID group. Step four, test the accessibility. Okay. And step five, you need to ensure that no other hierarchical, no other role gets inherited, no other role getting inherited. Like sometimes when you do perform multiple trials, right, you tend to get multiple roles and you apply it to the scope over inherited over a scope, right? So as it interferes, right? As it interferes, sometimes as it interferes with core functionality, core core expectation. Whatever we expect it to perform, it doesn't do that, and because we have another role prevalent there, and it affects the functionality which we are expecting, right? So ensure that on the given scope you don't have any other role applied. For example, I have given I've just defined the role, right, like which is this SOC. I think I need to refresh it possibly. SOC everything but CSOC, right? This is the one which I have recently defined. But now you have to navigate to the log analytics workspace, correct? Just get to the log analytics workspace, and here under IAM, first thing you need to check whether we have already having any SOC role available to this user. So Linux is like already have SOC everything but PSOC. So what you should do, you should select this and remove it, because otherwise when you are creating a new role, it will interfere with it and you will not be able to observe the key functionality which specifically your role should exhibit when you log in as a user from this ID, right? So that's the interference point which I just discussed with you. So just remove this, and then we will add role assignment. So you can see roles, right? You can just search for your role, like SOC everything but CSOC sensitive and PSOC sensitive. So we need to grant every access to other table except CSOC sensitive and PSOC sensitive. So I'll just show you. So you just select this thing and select your member. Member is Linux one, right? And you have observed that condition is the previously it was blurred and now it is active. So just choose your user, give next, add condition. Okay. So this is your key interface, right? First, you need to add a condition like this: read workspace data. Allow you to provide read data access to workspace or more fine-grained data entities such as specific table, etc. So first thing we need to grant the access. Now we need to build an expression where we want to perform the exclusion, right? Here we select the resource, attribute type as table name, choose your operator like string equals to, and provide your table name. Okay, so the table name which I have is this. So just get to the documentation here and copy. So this is the user and I don't want him to access this table, so I'm going to select this. So actual table, you verify your name, okay, from the underscore cl, and I want it to be negated. Okay, I don't want it to be considered, so I will add another expression because there are two tables, right? So make sure you ensure your conditions are perfectly matched. Similarly, this you need to ensure that table PSOC. We have table CSOC sensitive data underscore TL and this, right, negate this expression. So key thing to observe here is like if I get to the current user, I am able to PSOC sensitive, right? This will not show, but if I just get to see the CSOC, he is able to see the CSOC sensitive. CSOC sensitive data underscore TL, he is able to see now. Although one more thing, like as soon as you assign this role to this user, you just log out from here and then relog in, right? Because it takes time to reflect, or maybe just refresh your portal twice or thrice to actually observe the changes, right? So based on my current role scenario, stock everything but CSOC sensitivity and PSOC sensitivity, I am excluding the user from accessing these two tables and accept these other tables he can access, right? So just give it a save. And this is our JSON. Action matches tables data read or not or, and you can give and also like for both. So just get to previous. Okay, just get to next. Edit the condition, and here you instead of like both the tables you should not be accessible to him, not or, and means both should be true like that. Okay, so just give it a save and review and assign. So we are assigning it to this user, this particular role, which defines that he should be able to see all table except and CSOC sensitive data and PSOC sensitive data. So just give it review and assign. it is now assigned. So just get to here, log into this user. Okay, okay. Just quick thing to see here. Okay. So we are here at the portal again, and we are with Linux syslog, right? So just get to the logs tab. So we have couple of tables here. What we'll do is just get to the KQL mode and observe your tables one by one. So you can start with the syslog, whether you have access to syslog or not, whether you have access to heartbeat or not, right? Okay, you don't see it for last 24 hours. We should see it for last 7 days. We are able to see the data, right? Now, what we'll do is next is we'll try to see the data for our custom tables, right? Like sample table CSOC for last 7 days. We should see it for sensitive data. Let's just take CSOC sensitive. Okay, we are seeing the data for CSOC sensitive. Ideally, we should not see it. Okay, let's try to run like this. PSOC sensitive, we are not seeing data. For CSOC sensitive, still seeing the data. Okay. Okay. Try to just log out again and see it to reflect. You just get to the logs again and see, at times it will show you everything, but you need to keep refreshing the portal and observe it over a while, like after 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I'm doing it at a run, right? So ideally we should not see this table data, but we are getting it. Table CSOC sensitive data, table give table PSOC. For table PSOC you are not seeing, right? So just get to here, you'll see what is the condition. CSOC you are seeing the data, and for this you are not seeing the data, right? Just transform it to OR and then we'll just give it a save. So this or that will give always true, but this and this will be true, and then only it will be considered as true, right? Yeah. So okay, got it. So just log out again. We have assigned that instead of and we gave it or. Get to the workspace again. Let's just try to observe the behavior here. Let's try all table. So again, we are seeing that, okay. Just see whether you have given the table name correctly. So that is also sometimes is a pain, right? Table. You have select, I think, both, right? Okay. So table CSOC sensitive underscore CL, table CSOC sensitive data underscore C. Better you copy this table here. And here you put PSOC sensitive, just try with PSOC sensitive. The both decision. Okay. Next. So I've selected both now, like both of these conditions should be not. Okay. Okay. What happens? Not showing us anything. I just give a group there. Table CSOC sensitive data underscore CL. Table PSOC sensitive data underscore CL. Okay. One more time, we'll just give a refresh and then we log out and then we re-log in again. Okay, so let's just get to the condition we have, right? This is our workspace Microsoft Sentinel log. To this user DNS log, we have assigned this role. I'll just submit it with and just let me save it and then I'll retry it. So just reassign it. Let me just go back. Uh, so these are multiple configurations which you need to keep on checking, right? So okay, able to see the data, right? Although we are defining that for this Microsoft Sentinel workspace, we need to see everything but CSOC sensitive and PSOC sensitive, and we are defining the condition as data action. Okay, just get to this documentation first, right? Mm. Select condition, add condition, add action, choose the read workspace data as action select, and then build restrictive condition that in this build, add expense select and drop down select string equals from the operator drop down type common catalog in the value field. Select add expression, then select add to add another expression and resource. Okay, so I think what I'll do is just try to amend this again. String equals any of for all of the values string. Okay, value. Just grab it from the tables, name it from here. So in the single condition only I'm defining that I don't want the access to any of this. Okay, this we can plan to remove. Okay, first due to ungroup it. Just delete it. Okay, so what I'm doing now is not resource operations as table name for all of any value. Table psoc and table csoc, any of these values should not be accessible. So just give it a save. You can view, or maybe you can. This is the condition associated with this role, right? Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll just give it a refresh, because so it is already applied, but it takes some time to reflect, right? So that is the key. Should be giving you the result set for now, but oh, it's not giving us data. Maybe for, yeah, it is reflecting immediately. Table psoc, it is not showing. Syslog is showing us. Heartbeat, it is showing us for last 7 days. And for table others like CSOC1, table PSOC, CSOC2, table PSOC1, table PSOC2. So we have data for all, right? Except the two. That's how we build this. Table other two we have, right? So everything we have data except these two by virtue of the conditions we have defined, right? I hope you have got a good understanding around, so you can build your own custom roles, custom tables, and define the granularity to which they can have accessibility to these tables to different personas, right? Stay tuned. Thank you.